Hey guys, it's Shawn here, aka LifeTilt from Fateweave.com. Today I'm going to be playing a few matches with a RubyBlood Scrounge Aggro deck that I came across. And um, right now blood control based decks are kind of running the format, so hopefully we can get under them and maybe run them over before they can take over the game. I'm just going to do a quick deck tech, and then I'm going to try and record a few matches, hopefully 4 or 5. Um, the basic idea here is that we are a dedicated Underworld deck for Underworld Crusader, which requires us to play 10 unique Underworld troops. The payoff is that we get a 4/4 speed from his socket for 3, that if our opponent kills it, we get 2 cards. So he kind of pays for himself so he's really good against control. The other benefit is we have kind of a Dreadling synergy going on here. The champion makes 1 Dreadling for each race among Underworld troops we have, and basically we're going to use the Dreadlings and other creatures that die to fuel Scrounge abilities. And then we also have Wicked Web Spawn, which whenever we scrounge, we get 2 Dreadlings. So at some point in the game, we'll basically be able to just chain together a series of scrounge abilities every turn. And it also allows for some kind of explosive late game where we can just, curve out. Like early, we just play a threat into a threat, and then, we hold back Wicked Web Spawn and a couple Scrounge troops, and then on turn 5, 6, 7 even, we can just deploy Wicked Web Spawn, trigger a Scrounge to get a couple Dreadlings, trigger a Scrounge to get a couple Dreadlings, activate our champion ability, get a few more Dreadlings, and potentially attack for, 7 plus speed damage out of nowhere. Zanya Bloodfist has pretty good synergies with the Dreadlings, because whenever we attack with a troop, if this is in our hand, it gets +1 rage, which increases its power when it attacks. So, if we attack with 6 or 7 creatures, this can come out on turn 4 as an 8 power troop with speed and crush. Commander Prompt kind of allows us to go wide with our Dreadlings. He gives all exhausted troops +2 power. So we can kind of play like a Commander Prompt on turn 4 to insulate our, like if we go turn 1 troop, turn 2 troop, turn 3 troop, turn 4 Commander Prompt, then our 3 troops that we already have can attack for quite a bit of damage, and then if our opponent massacres or kills a couple of our guys, Commander Prompt is insulated from things like massacre because he'd have 5 toughness off the ready troops, get +2 toughness, and then we could do the scenario like I talked about, untap, play a Wicked Web Spawn, trigger a couple Dreadlings, make a couple more off our commander, and then each Dreadling would have 3 power, and we could easily be attacking for around 20 damage on turn 5 after our opponent just killed all of our troops. Our 1-drops are Deathseeker, which is a 2/1 for 1, so he's slightly worse than like a Bolt Spasm on raw stats, but he does have 2 Scrounge abilities, which means he can trigger Wicked Web Spawn 2 times by himself, which is really good. He also is a late game rebuyable threat against control decks. With the Scrounge 4, anytime he dies, he just goes back to our hand. It also can trigger some interesting, like say our opponent gives him say we Scrounge 4 so that we get him back every time he dies, and then later our opponent gives him, permanent -3/-3, just as an example. And then we have a Wicked Web Spawn out. We can play the Deathseeker for 1, trigger his Scrounge 1, Rage 1. He dies again, he goes back to our hand. Replay him. We can just make 2 Dreadlings for as many resources as we have, and troops in our graveyard. And then we have Gravengeist, which is 1 for a 1/1 flight. it has all of our other troops get Scrounge 2 +2/+2. So this literally gives every other troop in our deck a Scrounge ability to trigger Wicked Web Spawn if as long as this is in play. And whenever we Scrounge, it gets +1 power permanently. So it can very quickly become a really high-powered evasive creature. And then we have some cremates, which are just cheap, efficient creature removal. And they also have a Scrounge ability, so sometimes they just be a mana-free shock and trigger our Wicked Web Spawn. Then we have Lasgar's Bloodsworn, which is just pretty much the most efficient body in these colors. It's 2 for a 3/3 crush, and it acts as a sack outlet. Crimson Slayer is, let's see. Alright, so we have Rust Bucket Distractor, which is 2 for a 2/1 with a Scrounge 1 ability, which is really good, and it makes it so things can't block, so it can help us push through damage. And then we have Wicked Web Spawn, which has whenever we Scrounge with anything, we get to make 2 Dreadlings, so that kind of acts as a engine for the deck. The rest of our 2-drops are just some random underworld troops. Crimson Slayer, whenever we Scrounge, it gets +3 power and crush until end of turn. You can actually do, kind of like I was talking about with the Death Seeker triggering Wicked Web Spawns, you can also do a similar thing if you have Crimson Slayer in play and you can just play Death Seeker, 4 or 5 times in a row and it just keeps dying. And then this could easily become a 20 power troop with crush out of nowhere. And then we have Blamsmith, which we give it Swift Strike for the socket, and it's just 2 for a 2/2 Swift Strike, which is a decent body. But then if we have Scrounge 3, it becomes a 5/5, and if they kill it, it deals them another 3 on their next upkeep. At the 3-drop spot, we have Underworld Crusader, which is pretty much our most mana efficient threat. We have Boltwing Phoenix, which is another flight and evasive threat that we can buy back against control decks, and we can also use to kind of clean up decks that go wider than us, maybe like a Candlekin type deck. And then pretty much the rest of our 3-drops just fill out our Underworld troop requirement. We've got Death's Head Rider, which is a decent body, and we can use it to make our opponent sack a troop. We have Matriarch of Flame, which is another speed creature. And then we have Dread Apprentice, which is effectively a speed troop. It's a 3-power 3-drop that, if we Scrounge 1, we get 3 Dreadlings. And I think the last 3-drop is Pyre Smoke Cabalist. This guy is a 4/1 for 3, so he's decently costed. Anytime we use a charge power, he gets Swift Strike, which is really good, and whenever a troop we control dies, we get a charge. So all these random Underworld troops are actually fairly decent on their own. This guy can easily make it so that we could just activate our champion every turn. Because of the Dreadlings, they'll just keep giving us charges when they die. And then we've kind of already gone over our 4-drops. So I'm going to take just a quick look at the sideboard. The sideboard's pretty rough at this point. I brought in Withering Gaze, which is really good against the control decks and the Ascendancy decks. Blight Knight is good against Candlekin, and it's okay against the mono blood decks because it shuts down. A lot of them do play like Vampire Queen that creates 1/1 flyers, and it's also just a cheap 3-power threat for 2. Hero Fall, I've been having some issues. Really, the only threat out of Mono Blood that is an issue is Bride of the Damned. So if we can kill their first Bride of the Damned and exile all other copies, they're pretty well crippled. Runic Avalanche, I'm going to try this out to kind of give us a way to... A lot of what the blood decks do is they grind you out with discard. So I'm thinking Once this gives us a really good top deck against them, and also gives us kind of a card we can hang on to as our last card to refill our hand. And then Stalking Quarry is just it's pretty much in here for the socket combo decks, where they get to make all their troops cheaper if they're socketed, and they just kind of flood the board really fast. It's also okay against decks that play like Dark Heart. So I guess I'm going to try this, and let's see if we can get a match pretty quick here. While I'm waiting to find a player, this video is brought to you by Fateweave.com, and we're trying to create what we think is the first competitive website for Hex. We're going to try and start having a regular article schedule and some deck techs and such. I do also occasionally stream on Twitch as MTG LifeTilt. If the queue times are long, I may end up breaking this up into multiple videos just so we can avoid a lot of downtime. Alright, Alright, there we go. This hand seems fine. We have 2-drop into speed 3-drop, and we can make 2 Dreadlings on turn 3. Okay, we're playing some sort of momentum deck. I'm not super familiar with this archetype. I have a feeling his troops might get out of hand pretty quick. It's gonna be some kind of white-green momentum. I think I'm going to play Blamsmith, and then if he does kill it, then we can still cremate, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully this roadblocks him a little bit. All right. Okay. So I still think I'm going to just play the Underworld Crusader. Oh, the coin. Yeah, we can't even. Oof. Alright, I guess then I really just kind of want to get rid of this thing. Then we can start chaining together threats. That looks like kind of an engine for his deck. I don't really want to have to deal with him attacking with that as a 2-3 this turn and then giving another troop momentum. Yeah, that definitely slowed him down a little bit. Alright. I think we're just going to start bashing with some Underworld Crusaders. And I think I'm going to make some Dreadlings to fuel the Dread Apprentice so we can start kind of chaining stuff together here. It also allows us to cremate a blocker so we can next turn cremate and play Underworld Crusader. And then on the following turn, Dread Apprentice, which is a pretty solid clock. The only thing... Okay, and he's already played a resource, so that's not super great for him. Oh, this lets him play an extra. No, it doesn't. It gives a guy momentum. Well, he's probably not... Oh, it does allow him to play extra. Yeah, you may play additional resources. Okay, I thought so. Okay, so he's got a 5/5. Well, I think I'm going to play another Underworld Crusader and bash with both Underworld Crusaders. If he blocks the Blamsmith, I can't kill his guy, but he goes to 4. Yeah, I think that's worth it. He's very close to dead already. If he does block an Underworld Crusader, then we draw some cards and he loses his guy and goes to 6. Okay. I'd like to be able to play the Geist too, but I think we just need to get this guy off the board. All right. That's interesting. Okay. I think he's pretty much dead at this point. We can play Dread Apprentice. He won't quite be dead. He's going to be very close, though. This is a 5/5 now. Okay, let's see. If we just play the Graven Geist and then that allows us to play the Dread Apprentice as a large enough creature to avoid. Could also play the Matriarch of Flames as a 5/5 speed, which would be lethal, because then he has to block the Matriarch and he dies. So I think that's the play. Alright, we found the line. We did it. Alright, so we're playing against a white-green momentum deck. Didn't really see any sockets. He didn't really create any token creatures. Let's see. Might be okay just as we are. Kind of want to bring in a little bit more reliable removal, just because his guys get so big so quick. seems okay. Excuse me. All right, game 2. Hand seems okay. We can just get a bunch of non-resources here. We have double blood, double ruby already. So we can pretty much cast everything in our deck. And we're going to be pushing some more threats to the top. This is actually pretty aggressive here. So I think I'm just going to play Lasgars first because it's our most efficient threat. And then on the next turn, okay. On the next turn, let's see what we want to do here. Okay. So I think I'm gonna I'm gonna Fateweave for a non-resource and play the Wicked Web Spawn, and then make one. I'm gonna use the champion ability and just get one, which seems weird, but it allows us to untap, play Wicked Web Spawn, and make a lot of troops. We'll be able to play the Rust Bucket Distractor to prevent something from blocking, and then make 4 off of these guys. And I think I'm just going to sack the Dreadling to the Lasgar because it's the same amount of damage. Well, no, I think if he wants to trade here, I think I'm okay with that. I don't think he will. Yeah. So we lose out on 1 rage, but it's not the end of the world. We offered our opponent a chance to misplay, but they didn't, so. Okay. Whenever this deals damage to us, he gets to start making some dudes. Okay. All right. Does he get to make? Does he summon it to his hand? No. Well, that's pretty interesting. Must attack. We don't care about that too much. Okay. So we're gonna get double red here. And then I'm gonna play. Tempted to just run out double web spawn. think I'm gonna stick to this plan. And then I'm gonna scrounge the... And this will give us enough to activate either of these on the next turn. I'm gonna make it so the Candle King can't block. And I think now I just want to get this guy as big as possible. This guy's going to be attacking for at least 13 next turn. He didn't even block, which is crazy. We can make him, if we draw a shard, okay. If we draw a shard, then we get to make him sacrifice a troop and make 1,000,000 dreadlings. Our Lasgar's champion is Bloodsworn, is going to be attacking for a lot. I don't think we want to block any of this. Okay. He might have some kind of removal spell, which would not be super great, but okay, so alright, he just conceded. That makes sense. We don't have to even think about our line. Alright, let's see if we can find another one real quick. If it takes too long, I'm just going to chop the video. Oh, there we go. Match 2. Well, that's sort of unfortunate. This actually is another person from the site, so this should be fun. Not sure what he's playing, but it looks like some kind of ramp deck. Mm-hmm. We don't really care about this too much. We're just going to be, unless he plays something that's a real threat, we're just going to be bashing every turn to try and make our Zanya super lethal. Next turn... Okay. Hmm. The next turn we're attacking with potentially 7 troops, and Zanya is going to be really close to lethal. I'm guessing he's picking 1 here. Okay. Hopefully we draw a shard, and then we can play Zanya, attack for a lot, and then give both the troops in our hand Rage 1 off of Zanya's second ability. Okay. I don't really care about that too much. Alright, our opponent has almost turned the corner. We really need a shard here. If he attacks with both of these and we draw a shard, he's not going to be doing great. We have to assume he has some gas left, but I'm just going to get another resource so we can play this thing, whatever it is. He probably has another way to revert this. If he doesn't, and he takes it, he's going to be very close to dead. Very, very, very close. Okay. We'll see what he does here. It's like a blue-green ramp or a sapphire wild ramp deck that takes extra turns. So this should be interesting. Let's see if he attacks again. He does. Let's see if he can take another turn. Well, yeah, whatever. We'll see. Oh, we're dead on board. Alright, let's try this. Maybe we can... I feel like if I hadn't gotten stuck on lands there, would have been a little better. Definitely gonna keep this. We have a pretty mediocre clock, but a lot of disruption. I think I'm gonna get another shard just so we can play everything we have. think I'm gonna play... If we draw a 1-drop, then definitely playing a Withering Gaze. I'm still tempted to just play 2 to run our, so we can run the Underworld Crusader out there unchecked. Maybe we want to... Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way to slow him down. This little acolyte thing again. Okay, we're definitely taking this so we can slow him down. He has no green sources, no wild sources, so we definitely want to take that. And I don't think I want to take anything else yet, so we're going to hang on to this for a little bit. We got rid of his palm of granite. He just drew a vice, so we know everything else in his hand. Definitely going into beatdown mode now. Then we can play Web Spawn plus Withering Gaze on the following turn if we need to. The shard. So he has 1 unknown currently. 1 unknown. I guess I'm gonna hold it because I can't play any of my other stuff anyways. So let's wait until he has a couple more unknowns. If we do draw blood, which hopefully we do, then we can still play either of these and the Withering Gaze. So, yep. Well, he recovered pretty nicely. Ripped that ice right on cue. Alright, so he's played the Pathfinder, so we know he has 2 Eye of the Heart. Really, yeah, that's not great. Okay, well. So we're gonna try and get in some damage. Oh wow, the can't block effect is permanent. That is backbreaking. Are you serious? He drew another one? That's literally what I took, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Oh, we really need to draw blood here. Really need to draw blood. I don't know why you wouldn't attack. This guy literally can't block. Alright. Well. Yeah, we just attack with everything. And then play Zanya post-combat. He's gonna have to block something. I mean, he blocks these two and goes to 4. Okay. He can take an extra turn now. Yup. Draw a card. 3 unknowns. We know he has another Eyes of the Heart, so we're gonna get hit for 6 here. Then we're gonna get hit for 7, at least. Jeez, what is this? We got hosed again. Like, we lost game 1 because we couldn't play this, and we might lose this one because couldn't hit double blood. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we're taking it. Do your worst, dude. If you drew another one, it's pretty much game over. So just show it to us, I guess. I was trying to run him over before this happened, but I mean, it was a series of insane rips on his part, and we're literally ripping dead. I mean, he had no wild sources in hand. Untapped, ripped a wild ice, put a resource on top. It was another wild. So I'm pretty sure we're dead now. We're taking 7. Yeah, alright. You got us. Great. Don't care. Amazing. Alright, let's see if we can get another one in. I mean, that was just insane. He literally ripped exactly what he needed multiple turns in a row. including the card we just took out of his hand. I mean, we saw no wild. He drew a wild ice. Then he got another wild off of that. Then he got literally the constant that we had took out of his hand on the turn before. We failed to draw a second blood source for, I don't know, 5 turns in a row or something to be able to kill his engine. But that's how it goes. Alright, match number 3. I'd like to go first. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, that was upsetting. Some kind of blue-red spells deck, I'm guessing. Hmm. It's kind of a conundrum because, like, we want this out there so we can use our champion ability. I think I'm just gonna hold off because what the heck was that? I don't want to run. What? Okay. This way our commander prompt can come out as a fairly large troop. I thought we had 2 Ruby. Okay. You got it, dude. Makes me just wish I was playing mono Ruby and just running these people over. I just don't understand. Okay. I'm not having much luck with a lot of mana issues. Come on, buddy. He has to have some interrupts. Alright. What? I don't understand. It costs 3. Why did a 5 toughness... Okay. I mean, whatever. Sure. Okay. That card is really good. Oh boy. Sorry I'm so quiet. This is just... You know, it's not like I'm exactly running the table here. Sure, he probably has another interrupt. His hand just has to be full of them. But we just gotta run our guys out there. Attack with this Dingler for 2. Well, probably he doesn't seem to have interrupts anymore. I imagine he would use them on that. There we go. There it is. I mean, do we just make a Dingler into a 2/3? Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, we can make it cost 3. Okay. Oh, yeah, hey, why not? Sure, yeah. Nice knowing you. I don't think we have an out. That's certainly not gonna get it done. Okay. Alright, you got like 2 damage to target opponent? No? Okay. Okay. I don't see how we can kill him from here. Alrighty. Again, the cremates aren't great. Hand disruption is. This might be good. Distractor doesn't feel great. It does make candlekins, so maybe the Blight Knight is good. I think I'm gonna keep Zanya in. Seems okay. And we can play Geist and Disruption on one. I'm just gonna get a non-resource because I mean we can already cast everything except the Runic Avalanche, and imagine we'll get there eventually. Yeah, go ahead. Cool, nice hit. Alrighty. We're probably taking his Candlelight. Can't take the Sabertooth, and I mean something's gonna die. Except that this is like his payoff card though. So we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that, I guess. If he doesn't kill this right away, we can make this a 4/3. Okay. Now we get to play the Phoenix. And okay. There's one unknown. Definitely getting double red here. Alright, our mana's actually really good this game. Actually, probably should have played this. Just so I can play all this next turn. That's actually great. Okay. Hmm. One unknown. Jeez Louise, this guy. Ripping like a fiend. How is it a 1-2? I don't understand. Still one unknown. Okay. Yep. Right, well, I think we just have to sacrifice commander prompt. Just do this. Okay, not the best. We should have put a resource on top. I was thinking he would mill us though. Yep, he is gonna mill us, okay. Wow. Alright. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. Jeez. All right. Let's see what you got, buddy. Holy moly, that is phenomenal. His third candlelight. Candlelight number 4? Oh, okay. Okay. Respectable. Yeah, here we go. Why didn't this illuminate? I don't understand. He has to block this guy or he's dead. Pause the mic or mute the mic for just a half a second here while the sideboard timer ticks. Sorry about that. This seems reasonable. Yep, we're gonna play Geist and Hand Disruption on 2, Crusader on 3. All right. Okay. Definitely probably gonna take the Discombobulate so that he can't stop our Underworld Crusader with it. He has to Primordial, that way he has to Primordial Sabertooth it, which nets us cards. We'll set him up, we'll let him return to Cinder that. Don't care too much about it. Okay, he didn't. Alright. He has one unknown. Hopefully it's not an interrupt. Definitely gonna play... If you drew an interrupt, I will be slightly upset. Okay. Yup. He takes 4, maybe he untaps and Sabertooth's our guy. If he does, we're gonna have a grip. Alright, we know he has Sabertooth and Runic Upheaval and 2 unknowns. Not gonna Sabertooth, okay. Not sure what he has here. I think... I think I'm just gonna try and run the commander prompt out there. Just try to get in as much damage as possible. Oh, he's okay. He's just trying to Runic Upheaval. It makes sense. So he'll probably untap here, and maybe he'll use the Sabertooth here. We know one of the things he drew was a Shard. So we know about a Shard and a Sabertooth. And 4 unknowns. Can't stop coughing for some reason. Alright, opponents in the tank. What do we... I think we probably want to just play our ice here, and it's probably about at the point where you can Candlelight. It's very suspect if he doesn't Sabertooth on this turn. That would certainly signal he has something. May want to play this and then cycle this. This is really suspect here. mean, he's facing down 11 damage. Potentially more if he suspects speed. Okay. All right. Why? I don't understand. Wow, that is really good. That is really good. And because it voids, I don't get my death cry trigger. That is phenomenal. Okay. You know, he still has a saber tooth. Potentially a shard. That was actually really good 2 for 2 there for him. That Runic Upheaval second ability I didn't realize. Allowing him to do 2 to everything and then another 3. Okay. So we know he's got a mill. We know he's got a saber tooth. We're flooding a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't have an interrupt. Okay, he's trying to draw an interrupt. Sure, why not? Yeah, it's pretty close to point of no return here. Opponent has a full grip. Probably going to be able to interrupt whatever threats we draw. We also flooded out. Well, that's pretty good for us. I guess I'm just going to run it out there. See if he's got it. Mm-hmm. Alright, he drew a shard. We don't know what he drew off there. He still has a saber tooth. That is not great. He can actually just hard cast a saber tooth and kill our guy. And he has to be scared of the threat of, well, I guess he's not. Okay, he's using, alright, he's activating. That is a pretty good draw for us. Definitely should have used my champion ability last turn. That was a mistake. Interrupt. Nope. Okay. If you kill it, I can replay it. He should be on a 2-turn clock right now, and I misplayed. That's on me. I take it. Why wouldn't he? Okay. Weird. Just trying to gain a charge, I guess. Um, I'm gonna bluff. I mean, it's not really, there's not a whole lot of a point here, but okay. Definitely gonna just take my Phoenix back. Mm. Digging deep. Alright, we got there. Alright, I'm gonna stop this one, and the last couple matches will be coming in just a second.